Hi, I'm Barrie Dowsett. I'm the CEO of Myriad Associates. Now, I've been helping businesses make R&D tax claims now for in excess of 20 years. And I've got to say, the last 18 months, there have been some extremely turbulent times within the R&D tax scheme. Now, this all kicked off with HMRC and Customs back in April 22, identifying around 100 fraudulent claims, which was equivalent to around £46 million of tax credits, and then led to the arrest of 10 individuals. They took some action after that by increasing their resources. They went from 30 to 40 compliance officers, increased that by the end of 22 to around 100, and more recently it's been increased to 200 directly involved with making checks and inquiries on R&D tax claims. And they're supported by a team of 300 indirectly. So resources have significantly increased. What they've also done is they've undertaken a random inquiry of 500 claims, and the results from that are quite staggering. Now, let's just remember here that 90% of claims are supported by advisors. So professional advisors have come along and have identified and told the business that they have qualifying activities. So back to the statistics, 25% of claims were not eligible, so no qualifying activities. So that's no advancement in science or technology in the eyes of a competent professional within that particular field. And then looking to increase knowledge and capability. That is the key here. It's a step change. You must increase knowledge and capability within the field in attempting to make an advancement in science or technology. That's 25% ineligible. 19% of claims had errors in that they had some qualifying activities, but they had made errors in terms of allocating the costs. They were overclaiming. They weren't taking account of when the technical uncertainty had started and when it had been resolved. And then also we have 10% which were fraudulent, up to 10%. So we have 90% of advisors. We have a rate of almost 50% of claims that are not either got ineligible, have errors, or are fraudulent. Now, the key driver in this comes from, and this is a huge red flag, comes from the new advisors that have come into the market in the last 5 years. They are telesales led, so business development focus. They are taking advantage of the lack of resources that HMRC and Customs have had. Claims are going in, for example, of you'll take a restaurant that's come up with a new vegan menu. That's one of the things that was quoted in the press, and it's quite staggering, really. So some may say that HMRC and Customs are restricting the scheme. That's not true. What they are doing, they are policing the scheme, which has not been done before. And many of the advisors have sprung up. They are not capable of giving sound advice on what actually qualifies. And number one criteria is advancement in science and technology. In the eyes of a competent professional, that's great, new knowledge and capability. Now, one thing you don't want to do is fall down what I call the HMRC and Customs Trapdoor. If you do, they become extremely tenacious. They will prepare a letter that expects to be 2 or 3 pages long, asking questions, particularly around the projects, the technical advancement, the baseline position. Have you considered the R&D boundaries? And if you can't provide that level of detail that is required, then expect for them to push back hard, and then you're into a penalty position as well. What is key is to get sound advice from people that have been involved with R&D tax credits for many, many years, and also they have a team of technical analysts and writers that are able to look at your project, look at your activity, do the research, check out what the baseline is, and to make sure that you have an eligible projects or activities within that project, and you have identified those boundaries. That's number one criteria. So the takeaway from this is don't fall down the HMRC and Customs trapdoor. Focus on making sure that you do have qualifying activities, and make sure you engage with a reputable advisor, that's not from a business development or telesales approach. That is a huge red flag. And I really hope that maybe ask for their credentials, for example, ask them who's a tech analyst that's going to be working on my particular claim, what's the track record like, etc. How many inquiries they currently handle from HMRC customers. Please ask those questions. So anyway, that's enough from me. As I said, don't fall down the trapdoor. HMRC Customs have a huge team now to look into inquiries. If you need to know what activities do qualify, there is another video that I've prepared. Please have a look at that, and thank you for listening. You take care.